2023, another year, but it never, ever works. Christmas will always be about Jesus Christ. Ooh, getting some good sunlight here. So I just wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody. Wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I've been sick since almost since Thanksgiving, so really starting to feel better, starting to feel more like myself, paying attention to some of the things that are going on, but not really to too much. Usually around this time, the winter time, Christmas time, I don't really do too much with the research or social media. Definitely, I'm really trying to stay off of social media as much as possible. Not on Facebook right now. So, but I have been definitely paying close attention, very close attention to what is going on with President Trump and RFK Jr. because it's a big part of my book, especially when you name a book Kennedy and Trump. You better pay attention to what they are doing, I would think. So, just a suggestion here if you would like to. But so anyways, I saw a good thing about President Trump and the Colorado. They're trying to keep him off of the Colorado ballot right now. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if it can get turned over on appeal. I'm sure it's going to make its way to the highest court, the Supreme Court, and then we'll see where it goes from there too. So you just never know what will happen. But the Supreme Court, I'd be very shocked. And from what I hear, if that happens, if they try to kick Trump off of the ballot, if that goes through in Colorado, what will then happen is that the Republican Party will then move it to a caucus. So, and that should make sure that not only that something like this doesn't happen again, but that President Trump gets on the ballot. I mean, what happened to the write-ins? I thought we were always able to write in people, but you can see how scared they are, how they are just so scared to have President Trump get back into office. And I can't really blame them if I was a lot of these people because of what they've done to him. What you do to others, be careful because it may come back to you. And do unto others as you would have others do unto you. So when you do bad things to others, don't be surprised if it eventually comes back, and it always does because God sees everything. You cannot hide from God. You can run, you can play tricks, you can stall, you can do all of these evil things, but in the end you cannot hide from God. No one escapes God's judgment ever. So it was really cool to hear RFK Jr. Pretty much come out and support Donald Trump. Even a lot of the Republican candidates have come out in support of Donald Trump being able to be on the ballot. They're like, well, why not let the people choose? That's the whole point of our system. And Kennedy points out this is why we have this two-tier system. We have this system where they don't want to elect, they want to select. They want to select the candidates for us. And it all goes back again to if people get involved and stay involved, even at the minimal, it does help. But they don't want us to get involved. And when we don't, we see things like this. This is one of the things that happens because now you have California that's trying to do the exact same thing. So again, it was very refreshing to hear Kennedy. He did a couple tweets on it, a couple long posts. So I'm very curious if he's going to do anything with his public speaking. I'm sure he is, and I'm sure it'll come up. If it's not asked, he'll probably bring it up because the Democrat Party has been doing something similar to RFK Jr. So RFK Jr. knows exactly what it's like to be oppressed by your own party, oppressed, suppressed, whatever. To have your own party come after you, but this is different now. These are states coming after Trump, and the thing is, these are, Trump is very popular in all of these states, especially within non-crazy people. The crazies may not like him, but the real people do. And the reason why they're trying to keep him off of the ballot is also crazy. There's no due process. He hasn't been convicted of anything. He hasn't really been accused of anything yet, other than by a bunch of crazy people too. So, but there's no evidence of Trump inciting an insurrection. Um, and there's no way that that will ever be proven to be the case, that he was inciting something like that. When he said on that day that this was going to be peaceful, and he wanted to do a peaceful march, to let the politicians know that there are people who did not agree with the 2020 uh, result, or whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of evidence of why people should not agree with it too. And all that was being suppressed, all that was being hidden. They tried to hide Trump's speech where he talked about that, talked about peaceful protests, where he talked about people need to go home now. Um, where we see that there were feds there, that there were instigators there who were not Trump supporters. There were people that were led in. There were people that got off with the slap on the wrist. There are people like was Ray Epps. Nothing happened to them. Nothing's going to happen to these informants, to these feds, to these shamans. That's all they are. It's just they're just leading, leading people into hell if they can. And we can't let that happen. So it's good that Trump is standing up for it. The Supreme Court is also going to rule on if Trump has presidential immunity from some of this stuff here too. So we'll see how all of that goes. And I'll be very shocked um, if things don't turn out in Trump's favor, as they should, as they rightfully should, and let the people decide if they want Trump in there. And may the best person win. And I know that RFK Jr. feels the same way. We know Joe Biden and his campaign does not. They're doing everything they can to keep Trump off of the ballot, because they know they cannot beat Trump in a fair and square election. We saw that in 2020. We're going to see that again in 2024. And who knows what happens after that. And we'll see what happens. And it all brings it back to the real focus in this world, in this life, is not on a president, is not on Donald J. Trump. It is on Jesus Christ. And even Donald Trump will tell you that. And when's the last time you heard Joe Biden talk about Jesus? When's the last time you heard Joe Biden, bring up Christian values and what really matters in this world? It's all a bunch of nonsense, gobbledygook, pandering, pander first. Biden is a big part of that panderverse. All he does, and it's a typical politician thing. And I think people see it. I just think, their votes either are their voices aren't being heard, their voices aren't being counted, or there's well, we know it's probably all of the above. And then you have this propaganda machine that you want to rage against a machine. That's the machine to rage against. They're ones who are trying to trick you and tell you how you should feel, how you should vote, who you can and cannot vote for, before they even make it out of the gate. And the system was already messed up with just these two parties. And now, even within that, they want to even take it even further to who within those two parties you get the choice to vote for. It's crazy. And it is just going to get worse. But at the same time, we know that Jesus Christ is with us. Jesus Christ will protect us and lead us through all of this. All we have to do is believe. Have faith in Him. Do what is right. Do what He calls us to. Stand up for truth. Do not waver on your values. Do not waver on your Christian values. Don't be lukewarm. Be hot or cold for Christ. Don't be lukewarm. It's one of the worst things that you could do, because you're fooling yourself, tricking yourself, and you're going to be more confused. And then you're going to confuse other people just by they see you as this type of a lukewarm Christian. They're like, okay, that's not so bad. Maybe I could be that too. But you want to be right on target with Jesus Christ. You want to be 100% all in with Jesus Christ. And you have to be. And if you're not, at some point, you will be forced to be. You'll be given that choice. Say, all right, are you in at this point, or are you not in? And those will be some difficult times. Those will be some difficult times for us all. But as we come up and we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, as a lot of us do every day, because we talk about him every day, because we worship him every day, because we pray to him every day. But there is a reason for this season, and it is Jesus Christ. And the devil comes in and wants us to debate on, is Christmas about Jesus? The devil comes in and wants us to think that, oh, it's not on the 25th, and if you celebrate on the 25th, then there's something wrong with you. The devil comes in and wants us to think, oh, you can't have a Christmas tree because that's a pagan thing, and this and that. The devil comes in and tries to get other people to tell us how we Christians should believe and what we should and shouldn't do. And what's crazy is a lot of the time it's by people who have no relationship with Jesus Christ, who don't want a relationship with Jesus Christ. And they're trying to lead us the same way that people were trying to lead people on January 6th, right into hell. And we can't let that happen. And there's things that we can do, and there's things that we can't do. And in the end, it is all up to Jesus Christ. He will decide who gets into office. Will Trump win? Will Kennedy win? He decides how big of a deal this all really is in the bigger picture, right? I may think it's a big deal. I may think it's not a big deal, but I trust in Jesus Christ that he knows what is going to happen, and there is a reason why. There's a reason for everything that happens, and he is the reason. And we pay attention to it and think, wow, why did you do this, God? Why did you let this happen? Why did this happen? And we, blame God for things that we don't like. And then we praise him for things that he did that we do like. We want to have it both ways in a lot of cases. And we are sinners. We're all sinners. We're all human. This is what happens. This is life. But, as I come out of this month of darkness, almost just being sick and not really having much to do except for just work, be with family, work on the Trump Kennedy book as much as I can, and I realize how blessed I am. This is all a big blessing. And I want to be thankful for everything that God has given me, for everything that he's not given me, because there's a reason for that too. And it's a continual struggle, a continual process. And I have a friend who wakes up every day and prays to God and thanks God for everything. And I need to do that more. I don't do that every day, but every day is a blessing. Every day is a gift from God. Every day that we get to live, we live one more day for him, not for us. So as we go into 2024, I just, I continually want to remind myself what all of this is about. Where is all of this going? 2024 is going to be a pretty interesting year, I'm sure, as you can already tell what is coming. In about 3 weeks, the first Republican primary happens. 3 weeks. And then they start rolling in through March, and I think all the way up to March or so, maybe even May, and then we know who will be the Republican presidential candidate. Who is the one who most likely will be facing Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is just sliding right on through. I mean, he is just easing through and knows how to get his name on the ballot. When he started talking about how difficult it was for third party candidates to get on a ballot, I was really saddened because I was like, there's no way that he's going to be able to do this. All of this stuff, he's not going to be able to do this. He's 100% confident he can get his name on the ballot in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, all 51 states there. So, because he knows how to do it, he understands that a lot of other people may not have the knowledge or the money or the skills to do it, but he can do it. He says he can do it. So, I don't. I'm not going to doubt RFK Jr. I never have, and I'm not going to start now. So we'll see what happens there, but that'll be an interesting one. He gets on the ballot in all 50 states, and I'm pretty sure Biden's going to make it. Yeah, some people are still holding out that Biden won't make it. I don't see that happening. He's too far in. It's almost way too late, and it's never too late, right? But it just seems like if that would have happened, that would have happened by now. For him, he still has until November, really, because all the Democrats are gonna do is show up at the DNC, and everyone's gonna nominate Biden. That's gonna be it. Case done. So, what other option do they have? And they know that Biden cannot beat Trump in a fair and square election. Never happened, never will happen. Not gonna happen now. So they're going to do some dirty tricks, some dirtier tricks. But God's going to see it all. And God's going to punish them for it too. And that is sufficient. Everything God does is for a reason. And we cannot get angry and let the anger overcome us, or the hatred, or the sadness, or the feeling that it's all over. Why even, man, they're going to kick Trump off of the ballot. He's not even going to be on the ballot now. And it can be very, very frustrating. But God is in control. If God wants Trump on the ballot, it's going to happen. That's it. If he doesn't, then it won't. And I'll write him in. As long as I have a place to write in, I guess. I don't know if that's still a thing too now, because we used to be able to take a pen, you take the little pen and you just scribble it in. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, especially in every different state. But I can imagine a lot of people writing Trump in, if as long as they have a place to write in a candidate. I can imagine his name being written in a lot of states by a lot of people, including myself. It'll be tempting to vote for RFK Jr. over Donald Trump, but the way that they've treated Donald Trump, there's no way. Um, Trump has my vote, 100%. RFK Jr. will have my vote in 2028. If there was a primary, my plan for the Democratic primary was actually to switch my political affiliation, just so in the primary I could vote for RFK Jr. So, but that's not going to happen now. And it's good for RFK Jr. He gets to bypass all of that. He gets to bypass all that stuff. But the reason that they want to kick Trump off is just completely nonsense. And there's no factual basis to it. There's no due process. I think somebody said the Hatch Act actually prevents that, that they couldn't do it because of that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I have reached my destination, good people. God bless you all, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And it will be a Happy New Year. Either way, because we live for God, we live for Jesus. So there will be not Festivus, for the rest of us. The festivities will continue here, and it will be a great day. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything that Jesus has given us. And I just got to say that. That's all I got to say. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. So, anyway, trying to find some parking here, but I guess I'm just going to give it up. Give it up. Boy, this parking lot is full. I'm not Christmas shopping. I'm just grocery shopping here. And I'm still having a really hard time finding any spot, any open spot. This is craziness. Do one more circle around, I guess, and then we'll see. Then we will see. Oh, there's a good one. 2 spots. Good things come to those who wait. And I have been waiting. So I got really far in the book. Very happy about that. About 121 pages of gobbledygook. But it's good stuff. And I have never been more motivated in writing a book here. And I'm looking so forward to actually moving things around and getting all the chapters back in place. So God bless you all. Until next time, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.